I can't hear anything.
Finally, Samantha, who had been ignoring me all this time, opened her mouth, but she just looked at me with a sneer. At that moment, my pent-up frustration exploded, and I couldn't help but complain. Please, enough already. We have a $50 million deal today. Take this seriously.
Oh, I hear something. Maybe it's a fly buzzing around.
With that, Samantha grabbed a can of bug spray nearby and started spraying it at me.
Maybe now I won't hear that annoying sound anymore?
She laughed as she said this, watching me cough. Seeing this, I was shocked and realized that no matter what I did, it was pointless, so I decided to give up trying to reason with Samantha. Fine, I'll get out of your way. With that, I left the department.
Oh, finally got rid of that pesky bug.
She watched me leave, smiling with satisfaction. But 3 hours later, due to Samantha's neglect, she would face a nightmare. My name is Tom, and I am a 43-year-old man. I currently work in the sales department of Johnson Construction Corporation, a major construction company. I've always had a personality that made it hard for me to take a deep interest in things, so even during my school years, I never got passionate about anything and just went with the flow. Due to my parents' recommendation, I enrolled in a local university, where I didn't join any clubs and just attended classes before heading home. When it came time for job hunting, I didn't have any particular career aspirations. However, because my father was involved in the real estate industry, I had a slight interest in it compared to other industries, so I interviewed with numerous real estate companies. As a result, I was fortunate enough to get hired by one company. After graduating from university, I joined the company and was assigned to the sales department, where I learned the ropes and sales techniques from my senior colleagues. At first, I struggled with the unfamiliar work and found the tedious tasks frustrating, but gradually, I got used to the job and started taking a proactive approach. I began actively engaging in sales activities, achieving good results, and becoming someone my colleagues could rely on. However, after 20 years, a major turning point came into my life. I was scouted by the Johnson Construction Corporation where I currently work. Although I really liked the real estate company I was with at the time, I also had an interest in the construction industry, so I explained the situation to the president of the company I was working at that time and sought his advice. I was prepared for him to try to stop me, but he readily agreed and encouraged me, giving me the push I needed. When I switched to the construction industry, I was once again placed in the sales department, starting a new chapter in my career. The work at the new job was tough, but I threw myself into it wholeheartedly and enjoyed every day. A year has passed since then, and I've gotten quite accustomed to the company's operations, handling my sales duties independently. The workplace atmosphere is great, and relationships with my colleagues are smooth, but there's one person who's a bit of a problem. That person is Samantha, the head of the sales department.
Tom, what are you daydreaming about? If you have time to slack off, get to work.
She's always on my case with her harsh words. When I first joined, she was a team leader, but she recently got promoted after the previous department head retired. She has a lot of pride and looks down on those around her on a daily basis. Especially since I was a mid-career hire, I became a target of her harassment.
Hey, are you listening, Tom? Do you even have any motivation to work? You're already an incompetent mid-career hire, so get it together.
Yes, I'm sorry. Samantha's harassment escalates day by day, and recently she's been calling me useless and insulting me. Moreover, she's been clearly increasing my workload compared to other subordinates for the past few days.
Tom, here's some additional work. The deadline is tomorrow.
What? Tomorrow? That's impossible. I already have another deadline coming up. When I refuse the work, she immediately furrows her brow and starts to get angry.
What are you talking about? Complaining over one or two extra tasks. You're really useless. Just do it without whining.
She sneers and returns to her desk. With a sigh, I take on the work. The next day, I submit the materials I had to stay late to complete. Samantha, I've finished. Please check it.
Good job. You see, you can do it if you try. Now, I need you to handle this next task too. The deadline for this one is also tomorrow, so make sure to submit it early.
Samantha pushes another urgent task onto me. Excuse me. I already have other work. Could you ask someone else?
What did you say? Are you defying my orders as your boss? I'm asking you to do it. You can handle this much, can't you? If you refuse, I'll fire you.
She threatens me and forces me to take on the work. I reluctantly take on the work to avoid any further trouble. That day, I work overtime again, and the next day, I successfully submit the materials, but I'm once again assigned another task, leaving me exhausted. While handling the tasks from Samantha, my own deadlines are also approaching, leading to continuous overtime. Even in such circumstances, Samantha relentlessly and irrationally pressured me.
Can't you even handle such a simple task? This is why I hate dealing with mid-career hires. Finish it quickly. If you upset the client, it's your fault.
Yes. Samantha ridiculed me with a pleased look while criticizing me. She was clearly harassing me with malicious intent. However, I am just a first-year newbie. Unable to defy her, I continued to quietly follow her orders. Months passed, and Samantha's harassment escalated day by day, and recently, she started assigning me tasks unrelated to work.
Tom, bring me coffee. And add some snacks too.
Yes. She demanded coffee from me while sitting at her desk, massaging her own shoulders. I prepared the coffee, added some snacks, and placed it on Samantha's desk, offering it to her.
Good job. Now, while you're at it, give me a shoulder massage. My shoulders get stiff from working.
What? Oh, okay. I wanted to get back to work quickly, but I didn't want to upset her, so I complied with her request. Lately, it's always like this. Samantha has been demanding that I clean or run errands for her. Every time, I comply, but she always adds complaints or snide remarks.
What is this? The coffee is too hot. I can't drink this. And be gentler with the shoulder massage. If it hurts more, it will affect my work.
Today, Samantha started complaining again, and my pent-up frustration finally exploded. I ended up talking back. If that's the case, why don't you make your own coffee? Why should I have to stop my work to take care of you?
What? What did you say?
She turned to me, glaring sharply.
Are you defying me? Are you trying to rebel? You've got some nerve.
Well, no. But isn't it true? If you make your own coffee, you can control the temperature.
Oh my. Talking back to your boss like that. I can't believe I've been giving work to such an incompetent employee.
Though she was taken aback by my retort, she showed her anger.
You're really brave. That's it. You're useless. You should just quit already.
Samantha said this as she pushed past me and went out for lunch. Though it wasn't the way I wanted, I felt relieved to be free from her. An hour later, Samantha returned from her lunch break and, as usual, walked past me without a word and went back to her seat. At that moment, I had just finished the documents with a looming deadline, so I approached her desk to get them checked. Excuse me, Samantha. I've completed the documents. Could you please check them? Feeling a bit awkward, I spoke to her for the sake of work. However, Samantha remained silent. Excuse me. Samantha. She didn't say a word, just looked at the documents and then waved me off with the back of her hand. It seemed she had now decided to harass me by ignoring me. Realizing her intent, I assumed the documents were approved and returned to my desk. Even in the days that followed, Samantha continued to ignore me but still piled work on me. She would leave a stack of files on my desk and then return to her own desk to resume working. I regretted my earlier defiance, which had made the situation even more troublesome. However, since it was already done, I decided to accept the situation and focus on my work. A few days later, I started preparing for a business meeting scheduled for that day. The client for this meeting was Smith Real Estate, a major real estate company our firm had been targeting for a long time. Smith Real Estate is well known domestically and highly regarded by its peers. Our company had been trying to establish a partnership with them for a while, but it hadn't been successful. However, it seemed that Smith Real Estate was now looking to expand, and as part of that effort, they had agreed to this meeting with us. If this deal goes through, it will secure a $50 million transaction and significantly contribute to our company's growth. That's why the entire sales department, including our CEO, Mike, is determined to tackle today's meeting with great enthusiasm. I felt very honored to be entrusted with this important meeting, but I was also filled with anxiety because Samantha was going to be present as well. She continued to ignore me, and I dreaded being alone with her. Can this really go well at this rate? Despite these thoughts, with only 3 hours left until the meeting, I continued to prepare to head to Smith Real Estate, the meeting venue. Alright, I think everything is ready. Samantha, could you please go over the presentation with me before we head to the client's office? In this meeting, I was set to handle most of the presentation. Given the importance of the meeting, I wanted to make sure everything was perfect. However, despite the significance of the day, she continued to harass me. Can you stop this childish behavior on such an important day? At least today, talk to me properly. I pointed this out, but Samantha kept ignoring me. Samantha, I'm getting really angry now.
I can't hear anything.
Finally, Samantha, who had been ignoring me all this time, opened her mouth, but she just looked at me with a sneer. At that moment, my pent-up frustration exploded, and I couldn't help but complain. Please, enough already. We have a $50 million deal today. Take this seriously.
Oh, I hear something. Maybe it's a fly buzzing around.
Samantha maintained a calm expression even as the surrounding employees were surprised by my outburst. She exaggeratedly looked around the area. I'm really getting angry. You insult and harass me every day. What do you dislike about me so much?
Oh, the buzzing is so annoying. Maybe I should spray it.
With that, Samantha grabbed a can of bug spray nearby and started spraying it at me. Wait, stop it.
Maybe now I won't hear that annoying sound anymore?
She laughed as she said this, watching me cough. Seeing this, I was shocked and realized that no matter what I did, it was pointless, so I decided to give up trying to reason with Samantha. Fine, I'll get out of your way. With that, I left the department.
Oh, finally got rid of that pesky bug.
She watched me leave, smiling with satisfaction. But 3 hours later, due to Samantha's neglect, she would face a nightmare. Meanwhile, I had been out visiting clients, but now I was at a restaurant for my lunch break. That meeting with Smith Real Estate was scheduled to take place at that very moment. However, I was no longer concerned about the meeting. Ignoring its importance, I enjoyed my meal at the restaurant. Then, my phone started ringing. It was Samantha. Guessing it was about the meeting, I decided to ignore her calls as payback for her harassment. Even after my lunch break ended and I resumed my client visits, Samantha kept calling dozens of times, but I continued to ignore them and focused on my work. 2 hours after the scheduled meeting time, I finished my client visits and was on my way back to the office when I ran into Samantha, who was walking with her shoulders slumped. She noticed me and stormed over, furious.
Hey you. Why didn't you answer your phone? I was in a lot of trouble.
Samantha glared at me, seething with anger. I kept my cool and responded dismissively. I was busy with work. Someone piled a lot of tasks on me. Could you stop calling me repeatedly during work hours?
Work. You ignored the meeting, and you're talking about work.
Samantha, in frustration, scratched her head. Seeing that she had gone to the meeting, I asked her how it went. So, how did the meeting go? Did it go well?
Of course not. Why do you think I was calling you so much? Because of you, the meeting was a disaster.
Samantha vented her anger and explained the situation. After I left the company, she had apparently been handling other tasks before heading to the meeting. However, when the time came to go to Smith Real Estate, I didn't show up. Nevertheless, Samantha took the materials I had prepared and went to the meeting alone. When it was time for the presentation, she tried to speak to the executives at Smith Real Estate but froze completely. The truth was, she had no idea about the flow of the presentation and didn't know what to say from the start. She probably overestimated herself, thinking she could handle it without preparation. In the end, the meeting didn't progress at all, and unable to bear it, Samantha lied about needing to go to the restroom and called me. But since I ignored her calls, she had no choice but to proceed with the presentation, which she couldn't manage, and ultimately, the deal was rejected by the client.
If you had answered the phone and joined the meeting sooner, this wouldn't have happened. It's all your fault.
It's your fault for always harassing me like a child. You shouldn't have let me go when I left the company.
I thought you'd come back soon, but when you didn't, I assumed you had already gone to the client's office and left. But in reality, you were too scared of the important meeting and abandoned it. I never thought you could be this incompetent.
Let me tell you, that's a lie, isn't it? You wanted to take all the credit for this meeting, didn't you? Did you think I didn't know?
What?
Samantha muttered softly. The truth is, I had accidentally overheard Samantha talking to another employee about the $50 million deal.
If this negotiation succeeds, a promotion is guaranteed. Maybe I'll just take all the credit myself.
She had said this while laughing. Seeing that I had hit the mark, she visibly faltered.
You heard that? Well, I did feel that way, but it was just a joke. Besides, how could you just abandon such an important meeting? You're the one acting like a child.
Though Samantha accused me, I remained calm. You said you wanted to take all the credit, so I let you. I'm just a first-year mid-career hire. I was just being considerate to my boss.
This isn't the time for that. Anyway, we can still make it. Let's head to Smith Real Estate now. It's an hour away, but we can still get in.
She suddenly grabbed my suit and tried to drag me back to Smith Real Estate. An hour later, we arrived at the client's office and went to the reception, but we were turned away.
I'm telling you, we need to redo today's meeting. Let us in.
However, our CEO Eric is currently out of the office.
What do you mean? He was here just a few hours ago. Just let us see Eric.
Samantha raised her voice at the receptionist. Fed up with her childish tantrum, I reluctantly tried to calm her down. Eric is busy. We can't inconvenience the company any further. Let's come back another day.
No way. I can't accept this outcome. How am I supposed to report this to Mike? I'm not leaving until I see Eric.
Samantha clung to the reception desk, refusing to give up. At that moment, a man's voice came from the lobby entrance.
What are you doing? Please don't cause a scene at my company.
Oh, Eric.
The person who spoke was Eric, the CEO of Smith Real Estate. Samantha immediately rushed over to him.
Eric, I deeply apologize for what happened during the meeting earlier. My subordinate couldn't handle the pressure and abandoned the meeting, but I've caught him and brought him here now. Please give us another chance.
She apologized and began pleading with him. However, he shook his head, refusing her request.
I've already told you, that's enough for today. I'm busy too.
But if we miss this opportunity, you might not meet with us again, right? Our company can't afford to lose this chance.
She pleaded desperately. Eric seemed tired of her persistence. As he held his head in frustration, he made eye contact with me, standing behind Samantha. Noticing my presence, Eric smiled at me.
Oh, it's you. Sorry, I didn't notice.
It's been a while. Well, a few hours, actually.
What? A few hours?
Confused by my words, she turned to me with a questioning look.
Wait, what do you mean? What do you mean by a few hours? Explain yourself, Tom.
As she started yelling, I reluctantly decided to explain the situation. I came here once before the meeting started.
What?
She looked puzzled, tilting her head in confusion. The truth is, right after I left the office, I went directly to the client's company and met with Eric. I explained the trouble caused by Samantha's harassment and requested a postponement of the meeting. I apologize for the inconvenience. I thought it would be better to inform you than to leave a bad impression by saying nothing.
No need to apologize, Tom. It can't be helped. But tell me, does this Samantha always behave like this?
I answered his question honestly. When I explained the harassment and snide comments I had endured from her, Eric was angry on my behalf.
This is unacceptable. I've rescheduled the meeting for another day. I thought I'd send her away before starting today. But since she wanted to take all the credit, I figured I should at least see how confident she was.
With that, Eric let Samantha in as if nothing had happened and let her start the meeting. However, due to her lack of preparation, the meeting didn't go well, and Eric, frustrated, ended it prematurely.
What? So that means Tom had already called off today's meeting? Then it wasn't my fault that the meeting fell through.
She sighed in relief. But there was no time for her to relax. Samantha, don't you care that Eric knows all about the harassment you've been giving me?
Oh right, Tom. How could you do this to me? I had no idea you were secretly meeting with Eric. Were you trying to set me up?
Samantha couldn't hide her surprise. Then, she seemed to realize something.
Wait, why are you so friendly with Eric? You only joined last year as a mid-career hire, so you shouldn't know each other. And why would Eric listen to an incompetent employee like you?
Samantha questioned both me and Eric alternately. Feeling there was no need to hide it anymore, I decided to reveal the truth. Before I joined our current company, I worked here at Smith Real Estate. Eric was the CEO back then too. In other words, he's my former boss.
What? Seriously?
She was utterly shocked, clearly never having imagined this. Back when I was still at Smith Real Estate, I was scouted by our current company and was torn about whether to switch jobs, so I consulted with Eric. I've been scouted by Johnson Construction Corporation. I'm still undecided, but I'm interested in the construction industry and am considering a career change. When I spoke frankly, Eric looked disappointed but respected my decision.
I see. It will be tough for us without you, but if that's what you want, you should definitely make the move.
He didn't try to stop me and saw me off with a clear conscience. That encouragement helped me make the decision to join Johnson Construction Corporation. Samantha, who had been listening to the story, seemed unsatisfied.
Why is someone like him so valued? Tom is an incompetent mid-career hire. How could Mike have scatted him? Unbelievable.
Despite her outburst, Eric immediately defended me.
He's a hard worker and was always at the top in sales. He was quick to learn and very capable. Didn't you see that in Tom?
Well,
Samantha pondered for a moment. She seemed to recall a few instances that made sense.
now that you mention it, no matter how much work I dumped on him, he completed it perfectly, with almost no corrections.
Exactly. Tom may not realize it himself, but he's truly talented, and our company grew thanks to him. That's likely why Johnson Construction wanted him so badly. Since they couldn't secure a contract with us, they decided to take our employees. It's a sneaky tactic.
Eric still seemed to hold a grudge about me being poached. That's why he can't bring himself to like our company. Apparently, he's harbored resentment because many employees have been poached by Johnson Construction in the past.
Still, Tom contributed a lot to our company for a long time. As a way of repaying that, I agreed to take on the meeting with Johnson Construction on the condition that he would be involved. I was also happy to agree to the postponement.
I'm sorry to have involved you in our situation.
It's fine. I trust you. Besides, with you at Johnson Construction, I'm sure you'll achieve significant growth. If we can do business together, it will be beneficial for our company too.
As Eric said this, Samantha, who had been listening in a daze, suddenly began to beam with excitement.
What? Did you say, if we can do business together? So you'll sign the contract with us, right? Please. This means my promotion is guaranteed, and a salary increase too.
She was elated, but Eric glared at her in exasperation.
That's what I initially thought. However, I don't want to do business with a company that has a boss who harasses her subordinates.
What?
Samantha began to panic at his decision.
Excuse me, but what do you mean by that?
I mean exactly what I said. I told you I heard everything from Tom. The boss who harasses her subordinates is you.
What? No, that's not true. Please, listen to me, Eric. It's all Tom's lies. You shouldn't believe anything he says.
Samantha tried to deny it, but Eric wasn't swayed.
When it comes to trust, my relationship with Tom goes back much further. If you're going to keep lying, then I'll have to call off the deal. Sorry for Tom.
No way. Please reconsider. I beg you.
Suddenly, she started to apologize. I was surprised to see Samantha, who was known for her pride, acting this way.
I'm not trying to lie. Please, Eric, give our company another chance. Tom, apologize right now.
She angrily shouted at me as I stood there. But before I could say anything, Eric responded firmly.
Don't you dare order Tom around. This is all your fault. Until you change your attitude, I will never do business with Johnson Construction.
I'm sorry. I truly apologize.
Samantha apologized to Eric again. However, his anger did not subside.
Don't just apologize to me. Apologize to Tom. He's the one you troubled the most.
But
If you can't do that, there will be no deal. You might as well go back to your office.
Given his ultimatum, Samantha reluctantly complied.
Tom, I'm really sorry. I may have gotten carried away after my promotion to department head. Please forgive me.
Although she apologized, I couldn't forgive her. I won't be fooled by your meek attitude. This apology is just for now, isn't it? Once we're back at the office, you'll return to your usual behavior. Do you have any idea how much of your true nature I've seen?
No, I won't. I won't push work onto you or ignore you anymore.
Not going to spray bug repellent on me anymore? I asked with a sly smile, and Samantha turned pale.
Don't say that so loudly.
Don't worry. I've already reported everything to Eric, including how it felt and even the taste of the spray.
Both were bitter, it seems. I can't believe someone could do something so horrible. It makes me question your humanity.
Eric's criticism hit home, and Samantha broke into a cold sweat, lowering her head. What's wrong? I can't forgive you unless you promise to stop the harassment.
Remember this. When we get back to the office, I'll pour hot coffee on you next time.
What? Coffee? What do you mean by that?
Eric immediately glared at Samantha. She began to tremble.
No, I didn't mean anything by it.
Well, seeing Samantha's behavior, I regret letting Tom go. I have nothing more to say to you. Leave with him. By the way, I'll be calling Mike right after this to inform him of what happened.
What?
Samantha's face turned even paler as she trembled in fear, anticipating what was to come.
Wait, please. I'll report it myself.
I can't trust you to explain things honestly. I'll make the report. That way, Mike will accept the truth immediately.
Don't do that. If you do, I'll lose my promotion.
She seemed more concerned about her promotion than the fact that she had disgraced the company. I was increasingly disgusted with Samantha. Samantha, let's just go back today. Eric, I'm sorry for all the trouble we caused.
It's fine. I'm sorry as well. Even though we agreed to postpone the meeting, it ended up being canceled.
Not at all. Thank you. Goodbye. With that, I gave up and left Smith Real Estate.
Tom, I'm so sorry. It was all my fault. Please ask Eric to reconsider.
On the way back, she repeatedly apologized and begged me to convince Eric. But I ignored her, paying her back for her harassment, and silently returned to the office. An hour later, we arrived back at the office and went straight to the CEO's office to report. Mike was already aware of the situation and directed his anger at Samantha.
What were you thinking? We just poached Tom, and now you're risking losing him.
After a severe reprimand, Samantha was ordered to take an extended leave of absence. Mike then began discussing her fate with the executives. Considering the harassment of subordinates, her intentional sabotage to take credit, and the resulting ruined deal, they decided to take strict action against Samantha. She was fired and faced with a demand for damages, leaving her in debt. Samantha tried to find a new job to repay the debt but failed due to her age, so she had to start working part-time. However, that workplace was notorious for bullying newcomers, and she became a target. She is currently enduring harassment about her age and appearance but continues working to repay her debt. As for me, without Samantha, I naturally focused more on my work and continue to work at Johnson Construction. While our relationship with Smith Real Estate ended after that incident, Eric, out of guilt, introduced us to another real estate company. After doing my best in negotiations with that company, I successfully secured a deal, contributing to our company.
Why don't you come back?
Eric has invited me back several times, but now that Samantha is gone, I feel comfortable at Johnson Construction, so I've declined. However, Eric hasn't given up and occasionally tries to recruit me. While I might consider returning in the future if the opportunity arises, for now, I am committed to doing my best at the construction company.